Great. Pulling up my agenda. All right, let's go ahead and call our meeting to order. It is 7:02 p.m. Gina, did you want to go ahead and start roll call? Oh, well, first, I guess, actually, we have a new member, and I have that at first on my list. Sonia, you were just recently appointed to replace Leslie. It's here in Ward 3. Would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself to other members of the commission?
Oop, it looks like maybe she fell off as I'm looking at the participant list and she was here.
I just saw her.
She was here.
So maybe let's give her a second to reconnect. So feel free, I would say, to go ahead and move to roll call.
Okay. Do you guys know how to say her last name?
I think it's Neparud.
Neparud? Okay.
I could be wrong, but I believe that's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Miriam Cummins.
Here.
Greg Soriano.
Greg is here. It looks like he is muted though.
Okay. And Robin Davis.
I'm present, sorry. Is that better? Okay, thank you.
Present.
Jamie Jones. Keith Kolkow.
Here.
And Stephanie Newton.
Here.
And you guys, before we get to the minutes, I noticed just tonight that I still have Greg or Gabe Shepherd's name on the minutes, and I took the minutes last time, so it should be me. So I'll change that.
I also have a few questions on the minutes once we are ready to talk about the minutes.
That is our next item on the agenda. So feel free to bring any questions up.
Okay, so my questions consist of, I don't know if there was typos or by where it says on the HRC event debriefs and upcoming events from the calendar, where it says Javier Cervantes of Lynn Benton Community College, shouldn't it be Greater Albany Public Schools since he is no longer with LBCC?
Oh, that's my fault. I'm so sorry. I just assumed he was still with LBCC. I should have double checked that. So sorry. That's me. I'll change it.
Okay. And then the other one was, what is the local government Hispanic network?
It's with the League of Oregon Cities, right, Kim? And so it's conjoined to that, but maybe I titled it wrong. I thought I looked it up.
No, you're correct. So the city of Albany is a part of the League of Oregon Cities, and so the new this new group has kind of emerged, and so the city has joined in on it to make sure that we are learning. Whoops. Sorry, I apologize. I have a little one coming to visit. Hi. I love you. When you think you locked the door, but you didn't, I apologize.
Oh no.
So, all right, regroup. So it's part of the League of Oregon Cities. At this point, it's to help mostly staff. There isn't a portion quite yet as support or continuing education for council or citizen advisory groups. We've reached out to them to see if that's something that's coming down the pike, and it is, but it's not something that they have developed at this point. So just wanted to let you know that that's something that the city has joined in on for staff, but that at this point it hasn't trickled down to citizen advisory groups. But when there are opportunities in training or anything like that in the future, you'll be hearing from me.
Okay, and then when because it's saying local government Hispanic network, so is that going to be something that it's going to be helping or targeting the Latinx community?
Yes, I believe specifically in supporting Latinx folks who are working within local government.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I would definitely like to be on the loop on that. And if I can help in any way. And then the other one is the HAC, the Hispanic Advisory Committee. Are we able to attend those HAC meetings?
We are able to attend those meetings, and we'll be having a joint meeting with them it's March in May. So we'll begin having quarterly meetings.
Okay. Those were my only questions and corrections.
Awesome. I saw that Sonia was here, but what was that, Kim?
I just wanted to say there's a little bit of feedback going on, so I apologize, but I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. So don't take it personally. It's just because we're getting feedback. So when it's your time to speak, go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, perfect. Does anyone else have any changes they'd like to have made to the record for our last meeting's minutes? All right, seeing none, I'll move that we accept these into record. Any opposition? All right, sounds good. So Gina, those are good to go. And then it looks like Sonia.
One second.
Oh.
Okay, so Stephanie, you did the motion. Who seconded it?
I just asked if there's anyone opposed, and no one was opposed.
Normally we do the motion and someone,
Okay.
sorry.
No, it's all good. I was using more of Bob's rules of order instead of Robert's. Does anyone want to second that?
I'll second.
Who was that?
It was,
Miriam.
oh, I'll second it with the corrections made.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, and then Sonia, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Am I unmuted?
Nope, you are great.
I'm good. Okay, thank you. I apologize about that glitch. For some reason, in the evenings, my internet gets really glitchy, and so I had to try and dial in from my phone. So I'm not used to Zoom meetings on my phone. So I'm not sure where all the buttons are. Anyway, my name is Sonia Neparud. I'm an Albany resident. I've been back in Albany since 1995, so about 27 years now. I'm a local real estate broker and property manager. What else do you want to know about me?
I would say, what brings you to the HRC?
Yeah.
I have some extra time. I'm an empty nester now, and so I'm just trying to be a little more involved in my community. And there was an opening in this commission, and I thought, well, I'd see what I could contribute. I don't know if I'll be a good fit, but we'll see what I can do.
Awesome. Sounds great. I am not an empty nester, but I'm glad that you are filling your time with community service and doing things to bring our mission forward. Did you have a chance to look over, side note, have a chance to look over our mission, or?
I think I did when I filled out the application the first part of this year. And I have not reviewed it again just recently. I was looking at the agenda and your meetings from last month. But
okay. Well, if you have any questions, also Kim, since we have Jamie and Sonia on board, it would be great if we can get an updated roster and contact information list sent out to everyone.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and move over to the next item, which is our scheduled business. Our first option is our first section A is meeting options since the mask mandate lifted. So this will be either we want to meet in person, or if we want to meet, continue meeting virtually. I wanted to hear everyone's thoughts.
I would like to meet in person.
Yeah, I would like to do that as well, or at least have the option to do the hybrid, because I think it's I think it's valuable to meet people face to face.
I like the Zoom myself.
I also prefer Zoom. I feel like it's more accessible with having some small children. And I do know that Summer is coming up and some folks might be out, and we'd still be able to attend if we're out of the city limits. I think it's great to, if we can, maybe get together in small groups or maybe have some meetings. If we can look at a hybrid option, I'm not sure how that would work. Kim, maybe you could speak to that.
Sure. So city council chambers is set up for hybrid. And so we would potentially have to look to see if there are any other qualifying meetings. Additionally, we would need to schedule some staff and a security guard. So that's all things that we're able to do. We'll just need direction from the group.
Okay. Would love to hear your thoughts as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm fine with going either in person or a combination of the two.
I agree with Keith. I can go either way, whatever works best for everyone. I don't have kids, so I can be in person or Zoom. So neutral on that one.
Okay, so for our next meeting, do we want to plan on meeting in person or doing a hybrid option? Do we want to see that discussed to be like make a decision, have everyone send over to Gina when it gets closer to the date? Or what would we need to do, Kim, in order to effectively plan like a hybrid option, or if we were to do fully remote?
Sure. And actually, if I'm able to bring up one other thing that might help to complicate or solve the issue. In chatting with the mayor and city manager staff, the question came up is this time still appropriate and working best for the group that's here? On the back end of things, the 4th week in the month has city council work session, HRC, and then city council. And so that potentially could be a stressor for some folks. So would we be interested in moving to another Tuesday on the week? And then another question that was asked is 7 o'clock still appropriate, or would an earlier time be better? So before I guess we decide on if it is something that how we want to do this, I think it would be helpful to just kind of talk those things through as well, to figure out if the date pattern still works or if the time still works. Sorry, loaded question.
So personally for me, I'm fine if we want to move it to another day so that we can, it's maybe better for staff to have some relief in between all of these meetings, and we could find a better time to accommodate that.
I have no problem either. Oh, go ahead, Robin.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm open to moving it to another day. Earlier would be harder, but certainly another day would work for me as well.
I have to make sure that the date doesn't interfere with my other meetings that I have for my school board. We meet on the second Wednesday, second or third Wednesday of the week. So Wednesdays are going to be, I mean, if we want to keep it to Tuesdays, but or if you want to send a doodle poll or something that states what day would work best for people with times, that way we can figure that out too. Or if it's a day that the staff is going to be at the city council, then maybe having the meeting be, after that, since they're already going to be there, utilizing that time.
So, Craig, Mike, a quick question. Would you mute yourself? It seems like it might be your computer getting weird feedback.
Oh, is that okay?
But then, Kim, will you give us maybe some suggested dates if that would work for staff?
Sure. So in all honesty, I think at this point it's mostly me, and I'm fine doing the 3 days. We have had some switches. As you see, the wonderful Gina Baris is here, as Gabe Shepard has actually come on staff. He now works in the city manager's office, so he won't be taking notes anymore. And so I can check with Gina to see, we can have that conversation offline if you feel more comfortable. If you prefer, what I can do is I can send out a doodle poll just to say first Tuesday of the month, third Tuesday of the month, fourth Tuesday of the month, and then say keep it at 6 or switch keep it at 7 or switch to 6 and have folks fill those out, if that works. If that seems like it would be an easier way to facilitate this conversation at this point.
I
Okay,
agree.
let's go ahead and do that then. All right, moving to our next item on the agenda, which is our project updates. And Greg, I know last month you mentioned you were going to be speaking, you were going to be connecting with
Jesse?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can give you an update. I did have a Zoom meeting with Jesse Dorsett, the diversity director at LBCC. And I talked to him about a walk, and he had another suggestion that we could, all in, he was really anxious to meet with people from the city, the mayor, and our group. And on April 27th, there's a sexual assault and harassment walk that he used to do at OSU when he was a director there. And he welcomed us to join in. It's some type of we're going to wear denim, and we're going to be, and it's April 27th at noon. And so put that on your calendars. He was going to send me some flyers, some official looking flyers, and he wants anyone in the city to join in. And and so yeah, it's going to be a walk possibly around the perimeter, and then there's going to be some guest speakers in the quad area. So that was kind of exciting. And so anyways, that's I'm happy to share that with you guys. And so, and it was a good meeting. So hopefully everyone will show up for that, and then we're denim. So
Did you say it was April 27?
That's correct. Yeah. So and you mentioned around noon, and I believe it's a Wednesday at noon. I'm taking the day off of work, and he was going to have me maybe speak a little bit at the quad. And so anyways, he was really excited about this. And so I welcome everyone to join in. And anyone that knows anyone that has been sexually assaulted or harassed or anyways, it's to give support. So anyways, that's what I have for my project. It kind of morphed into one of his projects, which is just as fun, just as well. So, okay.
I mean, it's phenomenal. I'll definitely attend. All right. So actually, Sonia, I apologize. Let me give you some backstory on this. So as a commission, or to further our mission and our goals here on the Human Relations Commission, we are, we have some small projects that we create some subcommittees, subgroups for events or what is the word I'm looking for?
Rallies or something.
Yeah,
I got
that
it,
to do in the community in order to help with our mission. So one that I have, so Keith and I, we have an update. We were speaking with the chair of the Landmarks Commission. So April is Historic Preservation Month. And so we are, sorry, I'm like, I hear my kids in the background at the same time. So like, I feel like my brain's going like two directions at once. And here's my baby. So we're gonna be doing a walk, not a walk like what Greg is planning, but a tour, a historic walking tour based on the diversity of Albany. So we've been doing some research, and we'll be getting that together. So that'll be publicized through the city's website when we have those walking tours, because Landmarks does them as well throughout Historic Preservation Month. So I believe Keith, we're getting together with Jillian next Monday to discuss and get things finalized. And actually, I was able to connect with Councilor Dick Olson last week, and he mentioned a few additional resources for me to look into, and for locating folks that were the first woman who owned a business in downtown Albany, first Black person who owned a business in downtown Albany. So yes, so we're getting this all together. So I think it would be great. But There you go. There's that update. Keith, did you have anything additional to add?
I just wanted to clarify, Historic Preservation Month is in May,
In May. Thank you.
so no worries. I know it was probably
I was
just
like, we need to get meeting with her. That's why I was texting so urgently today.
yeah,
Thank
so we
you.
have that coming up. And then I saw the chat was disabled. I was just gonna drop in a resource that I made, but it lists all of the months, days celebrating all kinds of different individuals and groups. I know we had talked about getting something like that put together, and I had already created, so I wanted to share with everyone.
Awesome. So on that, for recorded meetings, we're not able to do the chat function for public record, but if you want to go ahead and send an email link to myself or Gina, we'll be able to circle back after the meeting and send it out to everybody.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Robin, did you have anything that you were, I wasn't sure if you had a project you were working on or?
Well, the beginnings of one actually, and I had meant to reach out to Jamie, and in error, I reached out to Sonia, who I'm sure if she read that email, probably thought, what the heck? What is this about? But I do need to reach out to her on that. One of the questions I had as we were talking over this, the idea is to create, just as an overview, go back and celebrate the immense diversity that exists within the food cart community of businesses in Albany, but just the wonderful cross section of folks that those businesses represent, and give them a little bit of a promotion, so to speak. And so we talked about a passport, for instance, that you could get stamped, and something along those lines. I know one of the things that leads me to question is whether we would be able to generate a budget for printing such things. Is that possible?
I'll have to look into that. I wonder if it might be something that like the Downtown Association or AVA also might be interested in. I know everybody's hurting for money, but I can look into it.
Okay.
I was thinking
that,
too, Robin.
I will actually, I'm sorry. I was going to actually say, other than that, I will actually reach out to Jamie this time. That's Sonia. Sonia, you can help too if you want, but organize that.
Mhm. I was gonna say, Robin, if you need help, I would like to collaborate with you on that, because
Yeah.
I was thinking, because of the project that I wanted to do in the spring was the celebration at one of the parks, but with everything, I'm like, maybe this could be a way to incorporate part of what my idea was into what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I really like that passport idea. I think that would be would be really good. And so if you want to meet or get together, we can talk about more on that, on how I can help you and maybe get ideas together.
Great. Yes, I would like to do that. I will reach out to you via email.
Thank you.
Those community passwords, they really connect people. That's how Miriam and I met.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
I do have so talking about the projects, I was thinking about talking with some of the community here in Albany. I was wanting to know how feasible it is for the HRC or myself or anyone of us to maybe be available or accessible to the community once a month at the park, maybe to have conversations about what is happening in the community. Because I've gotten people tell me, it's like, I don't feel like you're accessible. I don't know how to reach out to you. Is it through email? Like they see me at the store and then they start talking to me. So I was thinking maybe putting it out there once a month, come to the park and talk to us about what you want to see in Albany. And so, because right now with what Corvallis is doing with their 40-year plan with the ICANN, they're trying to get the community involved. And I think this would be a good way for Albany as well to know what is that the community want and for us to be accessible so we can then make sure their voice is heard when we do present this information to the city council, because we want to eliminate those barriers and we want to make sure we open doors. So for me on that, I would like to propose a way where we can, once a month, one of us, or even I, can go to the park on a weekend, on a Saturday or Sunday, and just promote it for people to come and have conversations with us about what they want and or issues that arise. I want to be accessible, and I feel right now we're not accessible, and I want to eliminate that.
Sounds like you can have that be part of like one of your project, like a project you want to do. Maybe you could have like certain themes or something that like, so.
I can create a timeline on like what months are which topics, and then if Kim or the city can help me and get that out, and then I can also share it in my platforms. That way more of the community know, and I can have it both in English and Spanish.
Yeah, and I know I plan on once the farmers market starts up again, continuing the project that I started last year as well. So even do something around that time as well, if you'd be interested.
Yeah.
I think we would be able to share on social media. So if it's something that you want to move forward with and the rest of the commission is on board with and says, yes, this is something that is going to happen, then I think it would be appropriate to connect with Matt and just say, how do we get the word out? And you and I will double check to make sure that parks that are selected are not under construction or have wonkiness going on.
I'm mostly thinking Monteith, to be honest with you, because the carousel's right there. So I'm thinking, let's go to Monteith, then go to the carousel. So that's my plan, because I know that's what my kids would want to do.
Outside of Mondays or Thursdays, we should be good then.
There we go. Yep. It's going to be on the weekend. That's my plan. Weekend.
Okay.
Is the carousel itself a location where that sort of thing can be done, or is that a?
It might be a little loud, and we'd have to get permission from the carousel in order to host something inside.
Okay.
Because I think it would be nice also if we could like get tokens to give to the kids that show up to these once a month. And it's like, hey, thanks for showing up. Go play in the park. And if you're done, when we're done, here's a couple tokens to go to the carousel, promoting that local business feel. So I don't know if maybe talking to the downtown association or the carousel regarding it on donating that couple of coins a month for that.
So I also serve on the board of the Albany Carousel. I can bring that to our next board meeting. I will say we've had groups come and usually they don't. I'm speaking in capacity of like not as HRC, but right now my capacity as a board member of the Albany Carousel. We'd encourage you more to purchase privately or have the commission purchase privately. A great option is to do it during happy hour, where tokens are half off. Like I'll go down, I'll buy 50 coins and I give them out to kids all the time. / bribe my daughter to clean her room with a carousel ride. But so that's what, since the carousel is a nonprofit and they do other things in the community, I know that they do look for folks to also support them. So a way to do that, I think, would be through purchasing through happy hour pricing.
That's why I also suggested like talking with Downtown Albany Association. If they have funding, they could give to the, I know there's certain grants where they apply to help the community. So if they use some of those grants to buy tokens from the carousel, then we can, and then they donate it to us, then we can utilize it that way. So there's different ways to get them. I just need to know like the guidance of how to go through it.
Do you want me to send you Lisa Grotto's contact information? She's
Yes,
the
please.
director of the, I can definitely send that. She's the director of the Albany Downtown Association.
Yeah, so I can talk to her regarding it. Yeah.
Okay, I will send you her email and phone number.
Thank you.
So we have next on our agenda is the highlights of this meetings from this meeting for the 2022 annual report presentation. I think one thing would be welcoming Sonia, and then also that we have our discuss debriefs and new projects, and also highlighting how Commissioner Soriano's project has evolved. Also, I will be presenting our annual report tomorrow at the Albany City Council. So if anyone would like to attend, it's both in person, it's a hybrid event. So you can be in person or dial into Zoom. So that is at 6. I always forget when.
It's at 6 o'clock now. It's moved up an hour. And we are, after roll call, there's a proclamation, a special presentation from the sheriff's office, and then Steph will present. So we're before business from the public. I would assume before 6:30, 6:45, but I make no promises.
Yeah. All right, next item on our agenda is business from commission. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to bring to the commission?
I do. So this past month, I met with Gail Woodrow, I think, and she is the harm reduction coordinator for Lynn County Public Health. And we talked about some things that we could collaborate on and some people she could get introduced to in the community. And I was wondering if it would be helpful if we had her come and talk to the commission at one of our future meetings about harm reduction and what her role is in the community.
Awesome. I would love to have them come and speak. Do you want to reach out and see if they'd be available next month?
Yeah, as soon as we can get a date nailed down. Yeah.
Meeting date and time solidified.
So
Yeah.
how about we, oh, sorry, didn't
Go
mean to
ahead.
butt in. How about we go ahead and keep the same date format for next month? So that way everybody's schedule can be settled. If we're scheduling presentations, that'll work. And at the next meeting, we will review the doodle poll results and kind of make a decision moving from there. So we would be making, oh my goodness, we would be making a decision from May to change things up. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds
Thank you.
perfect. Did anyone else have anything they'd want to bring to the commission? I have one thing. Oh, Miriam, did you want to go ahead?
Yeah, should I send an email to all of us on the what I propose for once a month? Or do I just send it to Stephanie and Kim?
You could send to just Kim and myself
Okay.
because if you send to everyone else, it's considered a
Well,
public
yeah.
meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
fun
right.
on public meeting laws. So the one thing I saw the opportunity to meet with Lynn County Commissioner Will Tucker over a cup of coffee earlier this week, and we discussed homelessness issues here in the county and what he's been seeing, and asked me to reach out to the FAC family
Family resource.
yeah.
It's the FARC, FARC,
yeah.
Family Assistance Resource Center.
Yeah, and see what resources they might need, and just see what we can do as a community. So we obviously didn't solve homelessness over one cup of coffee. I wish, but just it's great to be able to discuss this issue with with the commissioner and get connected with any additional resources we can help some folks in our community. I feel like we're fortunate in Albany that we have more resources compared to other areas of the county. But yeah.
I do know, did Commissioner Tucker tell you anything about their shower trailer they're working on?
He did not.
Okay, so I do know that they are working on rehabbing a FEMA trailer to turn it into a showering facility that will travel throughout the county to support people. And they do need funding to get that finished. I think their funding, they were looking for around $5,000 to help get all of that taken care of so that it could get out there and help people.
That's incredible. All right.
The,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Community Development Commission that I sit on there, there's another round of state funding coming from Senate Bill, I can't remember the number, but that's going to provide $1 million to the city, and there's going to be a process for applying for those funds. So that would be a perfect example of something that those funds could go towards, Keith. So if you want to let them know that that's going to be coming out from the city, the commission on that, that would be awesome.
I'm curious, did anyone have the opportunity to attend the housing forum that Ann Catlin was hosting? I wanted to, but I had work. Sonia? Oh, you are muted. I apologize. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, can you hear me now? Yes, I attended one of the meetings. I was a little disappointed that there was like only 4 of us there. And I had only really heard about it the day before. So I'm glad I attended, learned a little bit, but like a lot of things, I don't know where it's going to go. But it was interesting.
Well,
Did they have a stated purpose when you went to the meeting? I believe it's the first of an entire new kind of project happening, right?
I think they were just wanting community feedback or input, kind of get an idea, consensus of what the public thought, wants, what their idea of affordable housing is all about.
I do know that it will be an ongoing meeting for the task force. I think it's every other month. So it was February, March is a down month, so April should be the next one. And I believe folks are invited to participate, but I also believe it is being recorded in case folks want to go back and watch.
excellent, thank you. All right, so our next item on our agenda are staff updates.
Sure, so we already covered one, and the other was at last night's city council work session, the conversation about citizen advisory groups came up because there are 19 across the city. There are some with ongoing vacancies. There are some that meet less than 12 times a year. There are some that were founded back in the 50s. And so as we're trying to be more efficient and we're putting together the strategic plan, council is, the conversation came up as to should there be any modifications? And kind of after our amazing city manager staff put together all the data of how often folks met, issues with quorum, all that kind of good stuff. It came up that there potentially could be some combinations, like creating a transportation group that would combine pedestrian, traffic safety, bicycle and pedestrian traffic safety in the airport commission, potentially combining the tree commission as well as Parks and Recreation Commission, because they're both under our awesome department. And then morphing TLT, I believe, into more of an economic development one. So there was probably about a half an hour, 45 minutes of discussion. And the direction from council was to come back and say what this process would look like. If we were downgrading members, how would new members be selected? With that said, HRC was one that was not touched, saying, we would need to combine or anything like that. But I just kind of wanted to let you know that those are some of the other conversations. It is, if this group feels like 12 meetings is too much or is not needed, that could be a future conversation if you want to go down to 8, 6, whatever.
You're muted right now.
Wouldn't you know, I just hit my keyboard. I apologize. So it's an ongoing conversation. There's no ruling or requirement for it. I just wanted to let you know that those are the conversations going on with some of the other CAGs at this point. That's all I've got.
Okay, excellent. All right, so hearing no further insight from anyone, we have our next meeting here. I think we're gonna do it Zoom. Is that okay? We're gonna do Zoom.
If we're okay, let's do standard procedure, COVID procedure
Right.
in April.
Okay, so we're meeting on Tuesday, April 26th. So be sure to mark your calendars, and we will see you guys all online.
You'll still send a doodle, right, Kim, about the meeting for May? Okay.
Yep, you'll probably get a follow-up from me. I am out the rest of this week.
Mhm.
So you'll probably get an email from me sometime mid next week with the
Okay.
doodle poll, the updated roster, and Keith's forwarding of recognition dates and holidays and months and all that kind of good stuff. So
All
you'll
right.
kind of, in addition to Gina's minutes, eventually you'll get kind of, some follow-up information next week.
Mhm. Perfect.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.